It's Thursday, the 25th of September 2025, and we are about to start. Welcome to the information session of the European Urban Initiative. My name is Gerdy Schreuders, I'm your moderator today. For the next 2 hours, we'll dive into peer-to-peer review, peer review and city-to-city exchange. See, it's complicated, so it's good you're joining us now to get everything clear today. City-to-city exchanges and peer review are two important pillars of the capacity building services of the EUI to support your sustainable urban challenges. What it is and how you can benefit from it, it will all be made clear in the program today. But first the agenda. And in the agenda, you'll see that we have very different and various kind of program parts. The first part is plenary, so we all join here. The second part are breakouts, and in the breakouts you have the opportunity to talk to your national contact point and to talk with your national colleagues in your own language. Other interesting parts of the program are interviews with two cities who already have been benefited from peer reviews and from city-to-city exchanges. We'll have a talk with experts in the field, and we'll have case studies or cases from cities and a quiz. And it's not just a quiz, it's a quiz with real prizes. So please stay tuned. This program is interactive this afternoon, so you can participate and ask us questions and give comments and participate in polls. Actually, the first poll has already been launched. You need to go to Slido, and I'll explain to you how. There are two different ways. Either you pick up your phone and you scan the QR code, which is on the PowerPoint slide right now. If you do so, you come into the Slido environment, you leave your name, this is obliged, so you leave your name and then you are already in the environment where you can either ask questions or participate in the poll. Or, if you want to use Slido on your laptop, you go to slido.com and you use the hashtag EUY. And if you already see the hashtag, then of course you just fill in EUI. And you are together with us. At this moment, there is already 3 questions visible. And these questions are what city of which institution are you working for, just to have an idea with whom you are. What questions would you like to get answered during this session? And if you could instantly master any skill to help you with urban development work, what would it be? So these questions are broadcasted in a survey, meaning that you can fill in all 3 questions. You don't have to wait for each question. So you just scroll down a little bit and you see all the questions. While you are filling in and answering the questions, I will invite the head of Capacity Building Unit to answer our first questions about peer reviews and city-to-city exchanges. Here is Eilish O'Loughlin from the EUI. Hi Eilish, welcome. Capacity building, what is it?
Thank you, Gerdy. Good morning, or good afternoon, I should say. Hello to everybody joining online. Capacity building, Gerdy, this is about just not knowledge and practices, but also applying these to the design and implementation of urban projects and strategies. So it's about putting knowledge to work for the benefits of city staff.
Great. And that's what you're going to dive into, to the most important pillars, I think. It's city-to-city exchanges and peer reviews. And you're going to explain to us what it is, how it works, and all the main characteristics. Is that correct?
That's right, Gerdy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I give the floor to you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. So, as Gerdy mentioned, I'm here representing the EUI Capacity Building Unit. We have 3 capacity building activities within EUI, and today's seminar is about informing you how the 2 peer learning activities work, so city-to-city exchanges and peer reviews. So before I go any further, it's worth pointing out, what do we mean by city in the context of EUI capacity building? Which are the institutions that are eligible in these activities? So what I'm going to explain now applies to both of the activities, and it's very important that you keep this in mind when we speak later about the different roles in city-to-city exchanges and peer reviews. So in terms of eligible institutions, we're mainly targeting the urban authorities, which are local administrative units, those that are defined as cities, towns or suburbs, according to the Eurostat classification of density. So we call this DGURBA classification, and we're talking about DGURBA 1 and 2 levels. So in the chat box, my colleagues will share with you a table where you can check your DGURBA status. So level 3 refers to rural, apologies. So we're not targeting the rural, but rather the urban and the suburban. So that's the first category. The second category is any local administrative unit that has been included on a list of Article 11 cities. So Article 11 is the part of the European Regional Development Fund regulation that allows cities to be involved directly in designing and implementing sustainable urban development strategies. So these cities are selected by each member state. We receive a list of these cities and we host it on our website. So if you're also listed on this Article 11 list, you can also apply for these activities. And the third point I want to stress is that this is an offer that's also open for functional urban areas. So if you are working for an association or a grouping of urban authorities that has the legal status of organised agglomeration, and if your functional urban area is composed of at least 50% inhabitants in DGURBA 1 or 2 administrative units, you also have the possibility to participate. So it's important to know this because other types of stakeholders, other institutions, you may participate as part of the city delegations, but you cannot directly apply. So I'll move on then to the next part. I'm not able to advance the slide. Yeah. So in terms of city-to-city exchanges, this is the first activity that I want to speak about today. The city-to-city exchange is a very light, quick activity that's very much open for cities that are interested to learn and exchange with peers. So in terms of the aim of a city-to-city exchange is for cities to address any urban policy challenge that has been identified by the applicant with the help of peers from other EU member states. So in terms of topics, it's important to note that the topic must be somehow linked to EU cohesion policy. Now, this is very broad, but because EUI is financed by EU cohesion policy, it's important that the activities can be capitalised, so that we can extract knowledge from all of these activities and feed them back to support the better implementation of cohesion policy. So in terms of how cities can participate in a city-to-city exchange, basically we're talking about study visits whereby the cities are going to visit each other. We're talking about an applicant city, the one that will fill out the application form and submit it. This is the urban authority facing this specific challenge that's described in the application form. And we're also talking about the peer cities. So there can be 1 or 2 peers involved in a city-to-city exchange, and these need to be selected by the applicant because they have the expertise or the solutions needed to address that challenge. So these are the 2 types of cities that can participate in an exchange. So now, how does it work? The applicant has decided they want to apply and they've identified that they're going to submit an application. They need to find their peers and together work on the application form. So the application form is very short. It's around 1 to 2 pages of A4 text. Of course, we need some more logistical details about when you want to visit each other and in what city and who will take part. But it's a very light process compared to other EU applications. So please remember this. You can apply at any time. It's a permanently open call. And we approve applications generally within 1 month. So it's very quick to get the OK to proceed. You have the option to request an EUI expert moderator that will help you refine the agenda for the visit and who can join you on site to moderate the exchange and contribute to the report. So then, you carry out the study visits between the 2 or 3 cities over a 6-month period. You have the choice in your application form of requesting 1, 2 or 3 visits. One of these exchanges can even be online, and each visit can be between 2 and 5 days duration. So it's important to note this is a very flexible tool that is really responsive to the needs of the applicant. In terms of what you need to provide the Secretariat to get the reimbursement, we will ask you to submit a short report explaining what you learned, how you benefited from this exchange, and who participated. You should submit this along with your reimbursement request, and we will, on the basis of that, be able to issue the reimbursement to each participating city. So I'll move on to the next slide now. I'm trying to click. So we have a new feature to share with you today. For those cities that have experienced some challenges in finding peers, we're now going to roll out in November an optional matchmaking service. This is a very demanded feature from cities who would like to participate but do not know who to involve as peers. So 4 times per year, we will issue a sign-up deadline whereby you need to fill out a form on the EUI webpage and explain that you're looking for matchmaking support. After the deadline, we will check the eligibility of all the cities to participate in an exchange, and we will hand your details over to our team of expert moderators who will work individually with each city to help refine the need that will form the basis of your exchange and to find relevant peers. They can also help you finalise the application form. So this will be a real boost, an optional extra for those cities that need it to get their first steps on the EU networking ladder. So we will be prioritising cities that are small and medium-sized, up to 500,000, cities that are in less developed regions or transition regions. So sign up by 25th of November if you're interested in this. My colleagues are sharing now in the chat the link for that. So finally, how does the funding work? So we pay a lump sum to each urban authority. For the applicant city, that can be up to 6 people, and for the peers, that can be up to 4 people. So this is slightly different to the past, where we used to have up to 4 people per applicant and up to 2 per peer. So in the new guidance that you'll find online in November, you will see these new conditions included. So we pay the travel costs for the travelling delegations. We also provide a per diem. And for the peers, to thank them for the time invested in helping the applicant, they can also claim €350 per day as a daily rate. So that's what I wanted to share about city-to-city exchanges. It's a light tool, flexible tool, quick and easy for those taking their first steps. Now,
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Because how many city-to-city exchanges did you already organise?
So, Gerdy, at this point, we've received over 100 applications. So, as you can see, it's a tool
It's a
with
popular
very broad
tool.
appeal. I would say that more than 85% of them are being approved, and any that are experiencing any problems, we're able to accompany them in the resubmission process. So, it's a really foolproof mechanism for cities that are eligible to get involved in capacity building.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I thought this is perhaps also a nice moment to have a look at the first Slido answers.
Yeah.
If we can get them on the screen. Yeah, see, people are from the city of Zagreb. There's many people of Zagreb. I think that is because we will have one of the cities who have benefited from both peer review and city-to-city exchange from the area of Zagreb, at least. But of course, we will see many different countries popping up. Yeah, and let's see what questions would people like to have answered during the session. That's also quite a lot, but maybe we can have a few highlights. Yeah, what could be possible topics to explore within the program? Yeah, that's a good question. Will that question be answered during the session, or can you already elaborate a bit on that?
I can say a few words. I will say my colleagues in the chat box are sharing links about all of the questions that can be tackled in city-to-city exchanges, which I've spoken about so far. So they'll actually share with you the links to some web pages from those exchanges already financed. But the city-to-city exchange activity is very suited to any kind of thematic issue. For instance, how best to integrate migrants, how to best support sustainable tourism in our city, how to work and setting up a successful innovation ecosystem with universities. So any kind of thematic questions across the range of urban development topics can be tackled. And it's open to any policy instrument. So I spoke about Article 11 strategies, but the city-to-city exchange is broader. So any policy framework can be supported.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes.
And all your other questions will either be answered during this information session or by your colleagues in the chat. Thank you. And thank you for the first part, for the city-to-city exchange. We move on to the peer review session.
That's right. Yeah, I'll continue. So if the colleagues could bring back my slides. So the peer review is a different activity. I would say while city-to-city exchanges are very light and quick and flexible in their format, the peer review is a much more structured and intensive process. So while the city-to-city exchange is applied for in any moment and takes place at the time that the applicant chooses, the peer review is a different kind of activity. So we run calls twice per year, in October and in March. And in these calls, we invite 2 types of city to sign up and join us on this process. So the aim of the peer review process is to improve the design and implementation of specific selected SUD strategies. So these are the Sustainable Urban Development Strategies that are financed through Article 11 of the European Regional Development Fund regulation. And again, we have this list online of all the cities that are involved in Article 11. And the idea is that through this process, which is a very well prepared event, those cities will have the chance to have 3 questions related to their strategy answered with the help of peers. So there are 2 types of city roles in the peer review. First, we have the city under review. This is the city that owns an ERDF-funded SUD strategy, an Article 11 strategy. They're in charge of designing it and implementing it, and they're experiencing some challenges. So they apply and they say, I want to have my strategy reviewed, I want to improve my strategy. So again, these cities under review must come from the Article 11 list that my colleagues have shared in the chat. And we will group between 3 and 5 of these cities into one event. These are the main beneficiaries of each peer review. But they're not the only participants in the peer review, because each city under review will be supported by between 5 and 6 peer reviewers. So the peer reviewers, they can come from any urban authority around Europe, not only Article 11 list. And they're the ones bringing the solutions, the expertise, the experiences to help solve those questions defined by the cities under review. So you understand we have the main beneficiaries being supported by their own individual peer reviewers. So all of these cities come together in a peer review event. The event is usually 2 days, but as a new feature, we're going to start developing 3-day peer reviews as well. And in this 2 or 3 day event, each question is tackled in individual sessions, and the cities under review will leave with a report where all of the solutions and recommendations to improve their strategy will be described. Now, each city under review has a tandem of experts helping them, 2 experts that accompany them through the whole preparation process and who help them write this report. So it's a very structured process. It involves also a self-assessment with an European Commission developed self-assessment tool. So it's a very comprehensive, structured, intensive, and I will say successful process for any Article 11 strategy holder that wants to improve the way that is being implemented. So if you're interested to apply in this, as I said, 2 calls per year, the October call is about to open. It's essential that you apply between 6 October and 18 November, particularly if you want to be a city under review. But as a new feature, we're going to allow peer reviewers to also apply year-round. So if you're interested in either role, you apply during the open call, but there could also be a chance to apply later and still get involved if you're interested in being a peer reviewer. So as I said, it's an activity prepared over several months. I explained that there's a matchmaking process whereby the peer reviewers are linked with a city under review. There's a content preparation moment whereby the city under review has to prepare their background paper and whereby the peers can ask questions about the urban context and really understand the issues that they need to help with. Then after the event itself, where the questions are discussed, there is a follow-up process. And again, I have another novelty to share with you now. So typically we have a 6-month later webinar where we check in with the cities to know how have you progressed in implementing the recommendations. But we've listened to the feedback from cities who said we would like more support to implement these recommendations. So we are now working with the team of experts to prepare an optional extra. This optional extra is to take part in something called an implementation roadmap. This is a process whereby you will benefit from expert support for a full year after the event to help you implement those recommendations. So we will still check in with you 6 months after the event, but also 12 months after the event. And this will be your chance to tell us, how have you managed to proceed in turning these recommendations into an improved strategy? So in conclusion, structured process, very intensive, very comprehensive, a great opportunity to expand your network and to get a very, very intensive improvement process for your strategy. So as a final point, I'll just recap again how the funding works, as I did for the last activity. Similarly, for city-to-city exchanges, we are financing the travel costs through a lump sum. This is a fixed amount for travel linked to the distance between where you live and where the event takes place. We provide a per diem. This is an amount based on the country where the event takes place. And for the peer reviewers, we provide a daily rate of €350 staff costs. So this is payable for the duration of the event plus 3 days to acknowledge the preparation time. So that's all I wanted to share for now, Gerdy. 2 different activities, one a bit lighter, the city-to-city exchanges, one a bit more intensive, both very complementary. And I'd invite any city that recognises the need and the interest they have to build their capacity to get involved and ask their questions here today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that was very informative.
I hope so.
How many peer reviews have you already been organising?
We've organised 10 so far, Gerdy,
Right.
and another 2 upcoming in October and in December. And we're hoping to organise at least another 4 per semester going forward. So hopefully we'll get lots of interest.
Yeah.
And let's see.
So apply.
Apply.
Yeah,
Apply.
that's the call to action today, isn't
Yes.
it? Apply. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Later we will hear more about the procedures from your experts, from the experts in peer review and in city-to-city exchange. But now first we're going to listen and to talk with 2 cities who actually have been benefiting already from both peer review and city-to-city exchanges. So we're going to ask them to get here with us online in this program. Thank you very much, Eilish.
Thank you.
Hello, we're going to talk to Slađana Miosic. I've been practicing and I hope I pronounce it correctly now. Hello, there you are. You're from the city of Varaždin and this is close to the capital of Zagreb near the Austrian border. Am I correct, Slađana?
Yes, hello everybody who is listening online. I'm from the city of Varaždin and we are going to present you our experiences.
Yes, we can hear you. It's not loud and clear, but I hope loud enough for the people online. Might be different here in the studio.
Is it better now?
Oh, much better. Oh, it's lovely
Okay,
to hear you. Thank you so much for joining us. How would you characterize your city, just to have a little idea where you are?
Beautiful city, Baroque city, very close to Zagreb, as you said. For those who are not so familiar with Croatia, we are in the one of most developed part of Croatia, and definitely I'm inviting you to visit us.
We definitely will. When did you learn about the European Urban Initiative?
I learned, I don't know when, but it was online, I guess. So I saw the chance and we applied.
All right. How did that start?
Well, it started in that pilot phase when there was city to city, 6 months pilot phase. So we applied and we successfully did it and we implemented. And I can confirm everything that we heard already. It's absolutely true.
Oh, that's always good to hear, the theory and practice match. You started with a city-to-city exchange, you told us. What was the topic of the city-to-city exchange? What was the Sustainable Urban Challenge?
It was a city exchange with city of Plasencia in Spain, and it was called the Duet project. It was about digital transition in the role of the sustainable tourism, as you can see.
Uh-huh.
But first, our colleagues from Spain came to Varaždin, and then they saw that we have a lot of interesting solutions in this field, and they were speaking about the city, and we understood that there is possibility to learn a lot more from them about how to use historical buildings for the new purposes. So we slightly redefined the program, and we had really extremely good practice examples possibility to see how the projects were implemented and to see how those projects are living.
All right. So, if I understand you correctly, the topic changed from digital
the topic
tourism
little
to
bit
cultural
changed.
heritage.
Yes, but not completely, because we were also covering this first topic. But we were somehow, let's say, happy that we could do it because there was a lot of substance in the both fields.
All right. Can you give us an example of this digital tourism topic? What should we think about?
Well, we wanted to see how they are using digital technology in implementing concrete solutions. So they were showing us some clear examples of those implementations. Now, how not to go too deep in everything, but it was really interesting to see on how many points in the city they are using those spots, how they are using those digital technology to make it somehow also not just informative, but also entertainment.
All right. That sounds interesting. But how did you move to the other topic, like the cultural heritage?
Plasencia is a historical city. We have a lot of in common, Varaždin and Plasencia. And so we saw those buildings. They had a great project in the past that were financed mostly from the EU funds. And that was connection to that, because also in Varaždin, as we are center of ITI mechanism here, we are having some brownfield investment and some historical buildings that we are that we want to give a new purpose. And that was extremely interesting for us, because we heard from the colleagues, from the peers, how they were going through the process. So we learned a lot from them, and that helped us also a lot in our projects.
All right. That sounds very interesting. Did you do one exchange with one city, or did you do more?
We did with one city, and we are applying at the moment for another city. But this is result of our collaboration, of new network of the colleagues that we met when we were city under review. So we did already applied for another city-to-city program.
All right, interesting. Can you just tell us a bit more about? We just saw a slide with pictures. What did we look at? Maybe we can have the slide back. And what do we see? Is this the
Okay, so this is a mixture of the pictures from Varaždin. You see Varaždin, this one in the middle with this beautiful town hall. And on another side, you will see the interior of the Plasencia city hall with the city mayor there in the middle, because we also had a chance in the both city to meet the mayors to welcome us all. Then, for example, down you have a photo from the field. We were to one of those buildings that is renovated to the school for young chefs. So we were there, and they showed us how to prepare some typical Spanish food. So it was not just learning. It was also a lot of fun. And exchanging a lot of experience.
I see.
And also sightseeing. So it was perfect combination of everything.
It sounds like a great opportunity. You're also a peer reviewer. And I was listening to Eilish and I thought, yeah, I can imagine I want to be a city under review. Why do you want to be a peer reviewer? What's the benefit of that?
Well, you cannot just take, you have also to give. I mean, it's the sharing of knowledge. So if you are a peer reviewer, you have a possibility to share what you have learned during your professional career. You have a possibility to share this knowledge gained through the project, and also you have possibilities in the both ways to meet great people who are dealing with the same issues that you are dealing, and who have some good solution also for your problems. So it's always two-way process, even when you are sitting under review or if you are peer reviewer. At the same time, you learn. Depends.
You also
just
learn
focus
from
a
teaching.
little bit different, but you also teach. So this is a great value of those mechanisms.
Of course, great. Thank you. Why is it a good idea for cities to use both formats, to do both city-city exchange and peer review?
I will try to simplify somehow, because everybody could understand from presentation before that to be the city under review, this is a more complex process. But in that process, we are focused to the strategies, and then you can really improve your strategy, or if it's already in implementation, your colleagues can help you with the challenges that you are facing through the implementation. And when you are to city program where you are applying that, then you can tackle a specific topic which is coming out from that strategy that you were, for example, before analyzing as a city under review. So it's really complementary.
Would you then recommend to do the peer review first before the city-to-city exchange, or is that just the ideal way?
It's not possible to recommend it on that way. Depends in which stage and in which process is the city, and depends, of course, from the capacity that they have there. So you will not make mistake if you go one way or another way. You will
That's
learn
good to know.
in both
There's
processes.
no wrong door. Okay, thank you so much.
Door.
What are the personal benefits for you in both formats?
Personal benefits is you can learn a lot. Doesn't matter how much you know already. You really can learn a lot, because you meet great people with a lot of experience and who are very motivated to do those things. And motivation is always very important. Then the next benefit is that you become a friend with some of them, and then it's much easier when you need some information, when you want to apply for the projects. You have really connections all around Europe, and you can benefit really a lot from that.
What would you recommend to cities who are considering doing one of the formats?
Don't be afraid. City to city, it's really easy format. It's really easy to apply. But even to be a city under review, it's not complicated so much. It's so well organized in the terms of systematics that it will be easy. The professional staff will guide you easily through the process. So jump in the train, in one of the wagons of this train, because you will have a great professional experience, and I promise you will also have a great fun.
Thank you so much, Latjana. You were not asked to promote the services of the EUI, but I think you did a wonderful job, just very authentic. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
And
thank you. That was not my intention to promote EUI.
No, but it's good.
But I have to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Yeah,
you're just enthusiastic, and we love that. Thank you so much. I hope you stay with us while I'm going to talk with another city, but a representative from a city. We're going to welcome Alexander Snegos from Balvi in Latvia, which is a small town close to the Russian border. Welcome, Alexander, and we agreed that I could say Alex. Hello, Alex, yes. Welcome. How is life nowadays living close to such a border?
Today is a great day. It's sunny here, but it is every morning you are reading news and hoping for the best, but it's sometimes a bit stressful.
Can imagine. Yes, thank you for answering this question. I can imagine you're having a dream with Balvi, participating in the EUI programs. What is your dream with your small town?
As we live near the European eastern border, we have some issues that are mostly maybe demographical and economical. So yes, we are hoping to fix them in the nearest future.
Can you share with us what these challenges are?
Of course, it's like infrastructural challenges, and maybe we are living. The capital, Latvia, Riga, is about a bit farther from us, and everybody goes away to study and work, and that's why we are hoping to get people stay here and develop their families and
Stay or come back at least. Yeah. You were involved in both peer review and city-to-city exchange. What is the relationship for you between them?
Main relationship is that the partners and the peer review and city-to-city were both the same from Rome and Piraeus.
How come?
And, that was great because they already knew our challenges from peer review and helped to see the practical side for how they solve them in city-to-city exchange.
So you were a bit lucky that the same people from the peer review continued in the city-to-city exchange. Did you mention Rome? That must be interesting for a small city in Latvia to exchange with a city like Rome.
Yet EUI gave us a great opportunity that no one dreamed before that. That experts from Rome came to Balvi and we went to Rome. It was a pleasure.
Oh, we see the pictures now. What do we see in the pictures? Oh, we don't see the pictures anymore. We will get the pictures back soon. Yeah, there's the pictures.
Yeah. I think it's easily understandable. In the left upper corner, we see our team, our peer colleagues from Rome, Piraeus, and Balvi in the city garden in Rome. That is their public projects. In the right upper corner, we see their in Balvi, as we can see, we are a bit greener, and that is Piraeus IT department. I hope that they are not will not say bad words that we show this picture. I hope there is no secrets here.
I don't think so. And Piraeus, that's in Greece, I guess.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah, great. So what did you learn from your city-to-city exchange?
Our main goal was to learn from our partners how they involve public in their decision making, and that is the biggest learning from that, the ways how they do it.
Can you share with us a way they're doing that?
For example, in Rome, we understood that they have a very high-level legislation, and that is helping people to interact. Also, they are, as big city, they are submitting big projects. For example, in the picture you saw Green Garden, that was their international project. Also in Venezuela, how to make better people.
Where you involved people in the decision to. Yes, I see. Yeah, it's about how to ask the inhabitants and to involve them a bit more in your strategy, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Work of municipality.
Yeah. You were also a town under review. What did you get out of that?
As I mentioned before, the same professionals were there, and yes, they checked our developmental program, and they gave us like feedback on what we should do, and we already made the plan and step by step what the actions we should take to implement it. And yes, now we are implementing it. We are realizing new developmental document, and I think that will be a good added value to the process.
Yeah, I think so too. What are, for you, for your personal benefit, the most important achievements by participating in these two formats?
My benefit is that I completely changed the view how we implement the projects. Before that, I only view this, it is maybe some infrastructure or how to get money from Europe to implement something. But now I am looking at every project as why we need to do it, how our citizens will react, that we need to talk to citizens, what do they need, but not what we are thinking about in our offices.
It's quite a change. Yes, thank you so much. Would you do it again?
Absolutely, no doubt.
No doubt. Okay. Well, I wish you good luck, and hopefully we'll see the results of your participation in this both peer review and city-to-city exchange. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope people will stay or come back to Balvi. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we move on to our next part of the agenda, which is the expert support. The expert support which EY is giving is a key added value within the capacity building offer. Next, the EY experts will explain exactly how they support cities and why these activities are worth the investment in time and energy. May I introduce you to EY's peer review expert and coordinator Adele Bucella and City-to-City Exchange expert and coordinator Raluca Toma. Oh, they're so good. You're just in time. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you got such busy agendas, I suppose. So you are used to hurry. Yeah, and meet the deadlines. Thank you so much for joining us here. What role do the experts play in peer review and city-to-city exchange? Adele, let's start with you.
Thanks, Gerdy. Nice to see you, and nice to see all of the participants too. Yeah, so the experts have a role in both peer review and city-to-city exchange. The role is a little bit different for each one. So the first, as for peer reviews, as we heard from Eilish this morning, the role is very much like a critical friend, I would say. More friend than critical, but they have this job of accompanying the cities under review throughout the whole process. So it's quite a long-term commitment, I would say.
So are you such an expert yourself?
I am. I'm working with a team of experts that I'll tell you a bit more about later. And for the city-to-city exchange, the offer is a little bit different. So it's more of a facilitator accompanying the cities during their visits.
All right. How is that from your expertise?
Yeah. So hi, everybody. Hi, Gerdy. So maybe what I could add to what Adele just explained in terms of what the experts are doing there, because they have similar roles for city-to-city exchanges and the peer reviews. And as Eilish mentioned earlier on, there is this new optional thing that city can do, supported by the experts, particularly for the city-to-city exchanges. And that is, from November onwards, they can also be helped by an expert to find their peer city. So who is this other city in Europe that already has a potential solution or an answer to the thing that they are currently struggling with, the challenge that they have. So experts can also accompany applicants prior to the actual application in putting them in contact and facilitating this partnership.
The city-to-city exchange, or is it something separate?
For the city-to-city
For the city-to-city. So you can support to apply for the city-to-city exchange?
Yes.
All right, great. You're full service here. Yeah.
We do our best.
Yeah. How does the expert support work in practice? Let's start with Raluca.
Yeah. Maybe in order to exemplify that, I wanted to also show the full team of the city-to-city exchanges experts, because I'm just, if you want, the tip of the iceberg, but there is a bigger team out there surrounding us. So I am working closely with Richard, coordinating the team of experts.
On the slides.
Exactly, and in close collaboration with Eilish and Eleonora. And then we have several experts, each of them they have expertise in a particular field, and they are the ones that are actually visiting the cities, accompanying them.
We see them on the slides.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
All right.
you can see them all. So this makes it that with a city-to-city exchange, you can be accompanied by an expert that has, for example, a lot of knowledge in housing matters, or a lot of knowledge in social matters and inclusion, or education,
So
or
it's
climate
thematical.
adaptation. Yes.
All right.
It's thematical, but
Yeah.
it can also be on topics that are maybe we can hear them a little bit less thematical. So, for example, in ITIs, which are things that a lot of cities around Europe are currently trying to implement, and so on and so forth.
All right. Adele, are these experts employed by the EUI?
They're funded through the European Urban Initiative, but they're not directly based in the offices within
All right.
EUI. So interestingly, they're throughout Europe. And for the peer review experts specifically, we have experts across the whole of the European Union, a group of 14 altogether. And as Eilish said, they accompany the projects and the cities through the peer review process from the very beginning, even before the event, helping them with identifying their challenges right from the very start with this self-assessment tool, helping them to develop reports that can explain a little bit what their challenges are, and then accompanying them, really holding their hand through the event itself, the 2-day event. And then, as Eilish said earlier, the follow-up, which is a very important task for the experts to ensure that the cities under review are accompanied through this follow-up process. And the slight difference, I think, with the peer review experts, maybe we can show them also on the screen. We have we have a slide with all of the experts there. Here you are. You can see all of us smiling nicely on the screen.
Critical friends.
Exactly. But I think the difference is that the experts here have operational knowledge. They also have thematic knowledge, of course, and some of them do work as city-to-city exchange experts. But their knowledge really is more about strategies and operational aspects.
Yeah. What is the added value of working with an expert? Besides that, they're preparing you for the peer review and the city-to-city exchange.
Do you want me to go first with that one?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's what you want. Go ahead, please.
What I have to say is I think the added value of having the expert support. Of course, the cities can progress through this process without this expert, without this external critical eye. So I think the added value for me, I would summarize it into 3 Fs. The first one is about facilitation. So the experts really accompany them, the cities, and they facilitate their ability to pinpoint very clearly what the challenges are. Many cities are very close to their challenges and they can't see exactly the root causes of where their problems are. The experts can take a step out and have a slightly different view.
Like a helicopter view.
Exactly. The second F, I would say, is focus. So they allow the cities really to focus very clearly on where they need the support. And then finally, and we heard it from Slađana in her presentation, it was great to see her, and of course the colleagues from Balvi. But the friendship, I think, is one of the added values that we perhaps seem to maybe underestimate, and it might seem a bit strange in a professional context to refer to this, but actually this ability to build those connections leads to other opportunities, and there is a very nice group of people. So.
I was thinking about another F, but perhaps Raluca can answer that. The F of financial. I mean, what does it cost? Does it cost money to ask an expert?
Well, the full part of the expert is covered by the European Urban Initiative. So for the city, there is indeed this very big F that is in your advantage, meaning that the city benefits of this service because EUI facilitates it.
All right.
So they don't need to pay for it as such.
Bill. No. Okay, great. What is the added value of working with experts?
So Adele resumed it so well that I'm not sure what to add to the 3 Fs and then your 4th. I'm not sure what I can say more to that, apart from maybe underlying the fact that sometimes when you are working in a municipality, in a city, and I think in every type of professional world, sometimes we are very close to what we are doing. and the problems can seem very big. And with the help of the experts, their role is to try and put a little bit of healthy distance for all of us in between our problems and what we need to do to solve them.
Yep, very smart.
And then to keep you on good track of solving them.
Of course, thank you. Well, why, in your view, should cities get involved in these, well, either peer review or city-to-city exchange? Why should cities want this?
Well, I mean, I think the cities that have already been involved sum that up very, very well. I mean, I would say that the advantages of learning from others, avoiding the pitfalls of making mistakes, avoiding the wrong path. This is an opportunity to really learn from people who've been there, who've done it already, and can basically prevent you from taking that wrong path. So I think, as one of our previous speakers said, get on the train, join it now, because it's a great opportunity.
Thank you. Anything to add from your side?
Yeah, maybe the fact that, and we heard it from them earlier, it's this aspect of the fact that you might think you need to work on something, and as it turns out, throughout the city-to-city exchange and the peer review, you realize that there is a different way to approach things. And potentially this can help you to solve the issue on the medium or short term, but also on the long term, right? We heard from Balvi and Alexander the fact that it changed everything for him.
Yeah.
Okay, that is, I suppose that is what we are all aiming to.
And I think
with
that's
this.
nice for you to hear back as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
can
the most
imagine.
rewarding.
Yeah, great. Well, we're going to the next part soon, where we will present 3 city cases to identify with. Perhaps when you're listening now and you think, oh, maybe it's something for me, we can give you some inspiration. So thank you for now, Adele and Raluca, and we'll see you back for the next part. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're going to present to you 3 cases, 3 city cases from the daily EUI practice. I would like to invite Eilish, Adele and Raluca back to diagnose the city cases. And if you have any case yourself, please leave it in the Q&A in Slido, because I will come back to it later after the things we have prepared here. So if you have your own question or your own city case, just leave it in the Q&A in Slido, and you'll see the QR code and the way to get to Slido. All right, let's go there. Yes. Oh, now you had a chance to see us backstage. That's also nice, I think. Isn't it? Yeah. All right. We're going to hear 3 city cases. And I think we can just start with the first one. Who's going to read the first case? Raluca?
I can go
It's
first.
you. All right. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll first read what I see on my card, and then I'll try to make a diagnosis as a good doctor in city. So the city of Puerto Real, with a population of about 40,000 inhabitants, is located in southern Spain. Its urban strategy focuses on innovation and knowledge as key drivers of development. Puerto Real would like to know how to retain local talent, promote technological and social entrepreneurship, and create synergies between industry, the university, and the tourism sector to generate high-quality jobs. So we see this case that comes from Spain, from a rather small city, and when directing it towards either city-to-city exchanges or peer reviews, probably we would think of 2 elements. First would be, you understood that for the peer reviews, it's very important this focus on SUD strategies and the fact that the cities themselves need to be this Article 11. And we know that in Spain, we don't have those cities yet designated. So that is the first pathway that we can go to in diagnosing this. And then the second element is, while reading the description, we can see that it's quite technical and topical what they want to look into. So I would say it would be a good case for a city-to-city exchange. So we could look into finding a good peer and then actually launch the visits to help them out.
All right, that's very clear, I think. So move on to the second one.
Okay, I think that's me. So I have a case here from a Greek city, Igoumenitsa, who has a very small population of around 10,000 citizens, so a small city. They're based in the northwest coast of Greece. And they have a SUD strategy, a sustainable urban development strategy, which covers the bigger functional area around their city. And they're interested in basically tourism and commerce, which is the main topics in their area. And they have a question in relation to their strategy on how to raise interest, engagement, and active participation throughout the design and implementation of their SUD strategy. Well, I think the clue is quite clear here in this case. It's not such a difficult one to diagnose. The fact that Igoumenitsa have an Article 11 Sustainable Urban Development Strategy and that they're interested in improving that strategy by participating and involving different stakeholders. I think it's a clear case for a peer review. And we also heard actually from Balvi that this was one of the topics that they already did through a peer review. So I would say my diagnosis is that this should go into the peer review category.
All right, thank you so much. That was a very clear diagnosis. Then the third card, which is for Eilish. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Gerdy. Yes, I have a card here from Pleszew in Poland. So this is a place about 28,000 inhabitants. And they explain that they have both an SUD strategy, so an Article 11 strategy, but also a municipal revitalisation programme under development. So they come describing that they're interested in looking at these two policy frameworks. And they ask us, how can we help them gain insights in fostering cooperation, building strong alliances, to implement all necessary actions to make the city centre lively. So reading this, I have a few thoughts. I mean, we see that they're an Article 11 city, so this could speak towards peer review. They're also interested in looking into other policy frameworks, their municipal revitalisation programme. And it seems that they have a very broad interest. How do we, in a more cross-cutting, broad way, take all necessary actions? So in this case, I think the right course of action that we would recommend would be to move towards the peer review. We think that any Article 11 city should take advantage of this. This would be the opportunity to look at what's happening at a strategic level across the city from the Article 11 lens. And following that, we can dive deeper on specific actions that could be examined through a city-to-city exchange. So I think this could be a good case of a city starting with the peer review, getting that more comprehensive strategic framework where we can also discuss how to better align policy frameworks, but before then diving into some more thematic aspects through the city-to-city exchange. So that would be the advice that we give to Pleszew.
Thank you so much. That's quick. You're quick with your advices. But now I have something new for you, which you couldn't prepare. There is a few questions. One of them, I think it's easy to answer. So I just ask, I think, Eilish for a very short answer. As an urban authority, is there a maximum of different application to the peer review program? Or could also be for you, Adele? Is there a maximum?
Maybe I can start off and say, I mean, we don't have a maximum, but we are trying to peer review as many different Article 11 strategies as possible. So, I mean, our focus is on trying to select new strategies that haven't gone through the process before. It is a process that looks at the strategy as a whole. So in this sense, already it's a great achievement if we could peer review each Article 11 strategy once. Then in terms of the city-to-city exchanges, there can be any number of applications from the same city because these are technical, these are thematic. So if you have an exchange with your cultural heritage department, there's no reason to stop your colleagues in the Environmental Protection Department having a different exchange, looking at different topics with different people. So there's no strict limit, but we do prioritise the newcomers.
All right, good. Thank you so much. Then there is a question from Marios Asteriou, which is from the municipality of Lagadas. I don't know exactly where Lagadas is, but I think it's in Greece when I see the name of Marios. We are running a great urban regeneration project and we would like to learn about citizens' engagement tools, like we already heard before. So what should they do? Can you diagnose this very quickly? Raluca?
Yes, sure. So thank you, Marios, for the proposal or for the description that you put forward. So it does sound like a very concrete aspect that you want to look into with this regeneration project and the citizens' engagement, which is something that is coming up every often with all the cities that we are working, be it in peer reviews or city-to-city exchanges. So I would highly encourage you to apply for city-to-city exchanges.
All right. Well, we tell him, and of course we hope he's just listening. Perhaps you can let us know, Marios. One last question for this moment, because at the end we will have some space left for questions. About the city-to-city budget, I think it's a very easy question, easy to answer question. It's not clear in the AF, I don't know what the AF is, but your application form, yes. How many days I have to indicate, just the visiting days or the travel days as well?
I can take that. So in the application form, you need to define the duration of your visit. So your budget will be calculated in terms of the duration of your visit, indicated in the application form, and there will be an extra 2 days considered for your per diem and for the peer staff costs, in addition to the actual duration of the visit.
All right, clear. Thank you so much. Yes, and this was the end of this part with the city cases, because now we're going to do something very exciting, which I really, really like. We're going to do a quiz. And for this quiz, you need Slido. So go to Slido and you have to fill in your name again. This is needed for the quiz. I can't change that, I'm sorry. So either with your mobile phone or with your laptop, but choose the one you're fastest with, because speed is also a criterion. And of course, the right answers on the questions you've just heard and all the information you've got. It's a kind of recap. But there is a prize with this recap, and I'm going to grab it. You know, you might have been seeing it. It was here on the floor already. It's a bag from the European Urban Initiative with really nice chocolates from Lille, the city where the EUI is located. There is flower bombs from Portico, the platform of the EUI. And there is notebooks and a pen. So if you want to win this bag with prizes, this goodie bag, it will be sent to you. But of course, first, the effort. So we're going to move on to the quiz. And it works like this. I will read the question, and then you will have sometimes 10 seconds and sometimes 15 seconds to find the right answer. And then one of the 3 experts here at the couch will tell the right answer. It will be the right answer and the speed, the time you need to formulate the answer. It's A, B, C, D question, so it cannot be that complex. All right, we're going to start, and we're going to the first question, which is, and I hope you are with me. Okay, here we go. An applicant must identify their peer city before submitting their city-to-city exchange application. Is that A, true, or B, false? 15 seconds, here you go. An applicant must identify their peer city before submitting their city-to-city exchange application. Is that true or is it false? I've been listening, but even then, some of the questions are quite complex, I think. So, must the peer city identified before submitting or not? Is this true or false? Raluca, this is your thing, city-to-city exchange. Is it true or false?
It's true.
It's true.
But let me tell them that we are here to help them in finding the right peer. So you have to have your peer for the application, but before that, we are here to help you as well.
All right, so it's true.
Yes.
It's answer A. All right, let's move on to the second question. Which statement is not correct? A, the call for city-to-city exchanges is open continuously. Cities can apply at any time. Or a city can submit multiple applications, but those who haven't yet benefited are prioritized. Or C, there is a deadline that closes the call once per year. Your 15 seconds are on. So which statement is not correct? Is it C, there is a deadline that closes the call once per year? Is it B, a city can submit multiple applications, but those who haven't yet benefited are prioritized? Or is the call open continuously? Can you apply at any time? Let's see the right answer. Raluca, I'm looking to you again.
C is the right answer.
C.
Yeah, most of the people got it correctly.
So there is a deadline that closes the call once. There's no
there is
deadline
no
that closes the call once per year. Oh, I'm here to confuse everyone. There is no deadline
There is
that
no
closes the
deadline.
call once per year, but there is 4 times a year matchmaking, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that was it. Thank you so much. We move on to question number 3. Which of the following conditions must an urban authority satisfy to be eligible as a city under review? Is that A, you must be a city with at least 10,000 inhabitants? Or is it B, it can only be for capitals or of the EU member states? Or is it C, an urban authority receiving ERDF support for the design and implementation of a sustainable urban development strategy under Article 11 of the ERDF regulation? Or is it simply answer D, cities that have previously hosted a city-to-city exchange? Well, make your choices, please. Which of the following conditions must an urban authority satisfy to be eligible as a city under review? Any city, as long as you have 10,000 inhabitants, only when you're a EU member state, then something very complex with ERDF support and sustainable urban development. Or is it C, you should have hosted a city-to-city exchange before? This is a question, I think, for Adele. This is peer review. Can you help us? What's the right answer?
The right answer is C, and I saw that most people were listening, so that's fantastic.
Oh, really?
Yes, this. If you see Article 11, then you know you're in the right place
You're
for
good.
peer reviews.
All right. Let's go to the 4th question, and I can explain to you that after the fourth question, there will be an intermediate score. So that will be interesting. This is an important, crucial question. Here we go. Which of these cost categories are not covered by EUI for peer review participants? Travel costs to attend the peer review event for all participants except for the host city, number A. Number B, accommodation, subsistence and local transport per diem where travel is required. Mind the where travel is required. Or C, staff costs of the city under review. Or staff costs of peer reviewers. All right, 15 seconds to go. And make your choices. Oh, it's about costs, so it's always an interesting topic, talking about city-to-city exchanges and peer reviews. And this is about the peer review, so think clearly what you are choosing. And now I'd like to see the results. Staff costs of the city under review. That's what you think. Well, let's see if that's correct. Eilish.
Yes, that's right, Gerdy. So the peer review is organised for the benefit of the city under review, so we are not financing the staff costs for the city under review.
I think the audience is amazing.
Yeah.
They choose good. Or
Impressive,
is the
impressive.
questions too easy, perhaps? I don't know.
Very intelligent.
Let's see who is at the top of our competition. Dum-da-dum, dum-da-dum. Yes, can you show us the name of the leaderboard, which is What is there? Balius. Okay, and that's 4 out of 4 questions correct, but 12 seconds, so 5 seconds ahead of the number 2. That will be exciting to see what's happening, because the differences are very, very small, like seconds, not even seconds. Oh, let's move on then to question 5 and 6, which they go a bit faster, because that questions are a bit more straightforward. So I will read them and then you immediately get 10 seconds only to answer. It's 2 questions. Here we go. Which activity is best for a city seeking tailored recommendations for improving their sustainable urban development strategy? Is that A, peer review, B, city-to-city exchange, or C, both equally? Here you go, 10 seconds. Which activity is best for a city seeking tailored recommendations for improving their SUD strategy? Well, the heat is on. 10 seconds. Yeah, and stop. What is the answer according to the audience? Let us see. Oh, there's no answer yet, so we're not going to tell the answer. I think there is a little delay in the results. So which activity is best for a city seeking tailored recommendations for improving their sustainable urban development strategy? Is it A, peer review, B, city-to-city exchange, or C, both equally? Oh, this is going to be exciting, and we cannot tell the right answer because then we spoil the whole quiz. Obviously, there is a little delay in the results of the quiz. In the meantime, perhaps we can answer a question which was also there. We can continue again. That was really... All right, so we can continue. But what was the right answer? Can we share the right answer then, dear people dear technicians? Yeah, can we? Because we cannot see what the people have been choosing. What is the right answer? Dear experts on the couch, who is sharing?
I can answer that one again, because we see SUD strategy. Once again, it's linked to the peer reviews.
The peer reviews, all right, of course. Strategy and peer review is connected, and concrete examples, that's more to city exchange. Okay, the last question. So in a moment, we'll find out who is the champion of the EUI peer reviews and city-to-city exchanges information session. Here we go. Last question. Be prepared. Put your hand above the button. Here we go. Cities must complete a peer review before a city-to-city exchange. Is that true or false? 10 seconds. Ta-da-dum. Cities must complete a peer review before a city-to-city exchange. Is it true or is it false? Ooh, this one is exciting. Well, what's the right answer? Is it true or false?
It's false.
It's false.
It's false. All right, so we must have a winner then, because most people voted it's false. Let's see the leaderboard. Let's see who is the winner of this quiz. Nothing changed. All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations. You are 6 seconds ahead of everyone else. That's really, really good. Please leave your name in the Q&A, and we will find your email address and your contact details. And this prize is yours very, very soon. Congratulations from all of us here. And of course, congratulations to everyone in the audience. And thank you for answering such right and good questions. I think then this information session has been very clear. So we move on to the Q&A and to the summary, and we have some more questions for you in the meantime. You have also the possibility to put more questions in, which I will in a second answer with Eilish, head of capacity building, and if she cannot answer, nobody can. So please leave your messages there and fill in the poll, which is also there. It's a survey again, so it's 3 small questions. All right, let's go. Oh, of course, it's funny for you to see, but we are in the office in Lille here. And this is, you know, an open office. It was built for this occasion. So you might see here and there parts of the office or people running around.
Body parts.
That's body parts, that's how it is. And that's what I really like about the European Urban Initiative. It's about people. Of course, there's a lot of procedures and money in European Commission, but it's always about the people and the friendships. That's really cool. All right, so what did we do today? What is your main takeaway from this information session?
You want me to say a few words?
Yes.
Yeah, well, Gertie, I think we saw two interesting activities that cities can benefit from. We have the city-to-city exchange, which is quite light, flexible, completely tailored to the policy framework and the topic that the cities are interested in looking at with the peers of their choosing. And on the other hand, the peer review, which is a bit more structured, intensive. Strategic. Article 11 strategies with peer reviewers that will be selected for you. And in both cases, excellent experts accompanying the cities from start to finish. We tried to show, I think, that there's no wrong door. You can apply for both if you're eligible, and there's always opportunities to follow up with the other activity. So you can really have as much capacity building as you think you need. And I mean, we spoke about, you know, how these opportunities can create a lot of new networking chances, new projects that can be initiated together. I think for city staff that are looking to find a meaningful professional development pathway, the EUI capacity building offer is really something worth paying attention to.
And what really stuck with me is the cities themselves telling that it's not that difficult. It's quite easy to get on board and to get off. To start.
Yes, the activities have been designed in a more accessible way.
Yeah.
So the idea is that you don't need to rely on expensive consultants who will spend months developing a project application, months waiting for a reply. It's quick, it's easy, and it's there to help cities take their first steps in the EU networking and projects world.
Fantastic. All the links to documents, to information, everything we discussed today, the links are posted in the Q&A in Slido, and you might find them as well in the chat in Zoom. Talking about this Q&A in Slido, I would take the opportunity to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
From Susanna Souza. Thank you for this question, Susanna. A national public organization as an arts council, could they participate? They promote a financial program named Arts and Critical Urban Areas. Would that be possible?
Thank you, Susanna. So my very first slide was to show the eligible institutions, and I explained that we're targeting really the urban authorities, so the administrative units directly. These are the city councils. So I also mentioned at that time that other stakeholders, such as the Arts Council, you could potentially participate as part of a delegation, but the delegations are defined by the urban authorities that apply. So I would suggest that you make contact with your local city government, you explain that the city-to-city exchange and the peer review activities exist, you encourage them to apply, and that you express your interest in joining them on this adventure. That's the way that a stakeholder can get involved in this.
Cool. There is another question from the winner of our quiz. How do middle and small size cities how could middle and small size cities participate in the EUI activities if they are not Article 11 and not the GOBA 3 level? Are there alternatives?
There are not alternatives in EUI.
Okay.
The EUI capacity building offer are for those either defined as cities, towns or suburbs by the GERBA, or those that are on the Article 11 list. So if you get in touch with us, we can also share maybe some other programs and initiatives that might be taking a more regional or non-urban focus. But
All right.
this is an offer for
Clear
cities.
answer.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Last question. P2P. I don't know what that is.
Probably peer-to-peer.
Peer-to-peer. Oh, the question disappeared.
Okay.
Oh, peer-to-peer disappeared. I don't
Okay.
know. I think it was a question about, oh, now it's here. Peer-to-peer is the main topic addressed broadly, as in the City-to-City program, and if so, could a circular economy project manager apply as a peer reviewer?
So there's two questions in one.
Yes.
The first question was, are the topics, are the questions defined broadly in the peer review compared to the City-to-City? I would say the questions in the peer review activity are more operational and strategic. So it's generally questions like, how can we better engage stakeholders in our strategic planning process? How can we improve the communication with our managing authority? How can we define better indicators? How can we calibrate the best method to evaluate and monitor our strategies? So the focus is really on the level of the strategy. We don't focus in peer review what is the best format for a circular economy project. That is really thematic and project specific. Now, at the same time, if circular economy is a very important topic within an SUD strategy, it could be interesting for the city to involve some circular economy colleagues in the process.
In the process.
But I would say if your focus is really on circular economy, this is more thematic and you'd be better served by a city-to-city exchange.
Well, I think that Corentin, who asked this question, his interest or her interest, I don't know, is in what requires to be a peer reviewer. And you don't have to answer that now, but is there any information on the website how to become a peer reviewer?
There is information on the website. So as I explained, any staff of a city government can apply to be a peer reviewer. The main experience you need is in the integrated place-based approach. This means that your career hasn't been focused only on circular economy, but that you have been involved more broadly in strategic planning, that you have experience in looking at a territory overall, in planning beyond administrative boundaries, beyond departmental silos, multi-stakeholder approach, multi-level governance. This is the kind of experience we need. So we could someday have a specific city that needs something on circular economy, but we're looking for solid generalists who have this integrated approach.
All right, thank you very much.
You're
very
welcome.
clear again, yeah. I'm going to explain to you how to get to the breakouts, because we come to the end of the plenary program. And in the breakout rooms, you'll find your national contact point. And I promise you, for each and every city, there is a national contact point. And there is a breakout room where you can talk to peers in your own national language. Because sometimes the EU language is quite difficult, I can say. That's what I find as well here and there, don't you think? With a lot of abbreviations, etc. So it could be nice to talk to someone in your own language. Well, you will see a poll now, and in this poll you will have all countries which have been registered are in this poll, and you can choose a breakout room from your country. If you just click on the country, and we don't see it yet, so I'll check what's going on if I do something wrong. But we should see the poll with all the different countries. The idea is just to click on the country, and then you go to your breakout room. In case you got lost, no worry, because there will be virtual assistant bringing you to your breakout room. It can take a few minutes, so please don't stress. You will be forwarded and directed to your country. So we will see a poll soon with all the different countries from the people who have been registered. So there can be, there's more than 20 different breakout rooms. So it will be very small companies, like with 20 or maybe sometimes even only 5 people. But the more value you'll get, of course, because your national contact point will know a lot of things from from all the things about city-to-city exchange and from peer review. I can't see if the poll is already there, so I hope it is. If you cannot find your country, please know that there is also an option saying other countries, and that's for everyone who doesn't have an own breakout room. There you can just continue in English. While we're waiting for the poll and waiting for the different countries, we have a quick look because you're here now anyway. And I think it's nice that people are asking this many questions. Looking at the map on the website, isn't there an urban contact point in Italy? Well, I don't know if you know that.
Yes, we do have an urban contact point in Italy. It was one of the more recent ones appointed, so I can check with my colleagues that that map is updated, and maybe we can share with you directly the contact details.
All right.
Yeah.
So Mr. or Mrs. Tarpignati, I hope pronounce it correctly. Your question will be answered, and perhaps already here in the Q&A. Then Caroline from Dublin City. Dublin Place Brand Strategy Placemaking, a collaborative of Dublin 4 local authorities for one unique brand. What thematic approach this under for application? Oh, do you understand the question?
Roughly, it sounds like Dublin is interested in maybe having an exchange on place making, city branding. I would say, I mean, Caroline hasn't mentioned here a specific SUD strategy that would be on the Article 11 list. So this sounds, Caroline, like a city-to-city exchange could be a good solution. But maybe if you explain a bit more, who would be the applicant, urban authority, and what's the policy instrument that you'd be trying to improve, we can give you a bit more of a tailored reply.
Okay, yeah, thank you. That's for Caroline. And then Jolanta, does the project require submitting an
An application?
An application with partners or not?
Yes, so for the city-to-city exchange, you do need to name 1 or 2 peer cities in the application form. For a peer review, you do not need to name your peers. The peer review team will allocate your peer reviewers. As we presented earlier for city-to-city exchanges, we do have a new matchmaking support service. You can sign up by the 25th of November if you need a peer, and our expert team will work with you to reconfirm the topic of your exchange and to find a relevant peer.
All right, great. Well, I think we should have a look again and I'll have a look at my colleagues. Do you know if the breakout rooms are ready? You can just give me a heads up or heads down, because yes, they are. Oh, good. Well, let's move on then. You can choose your country by scrolling down. Each and every country is there, and each and every national contact point is there for you to discuss peer review, city-to-city exchange, peer review calls, expert support, and everything. And if you cannot find a breakout room, please just find the room called Other Countries, because there you will continue this discussion in English, and it's possible to come with individual questions. How cool is that? Thank you for joining me here in the plenary. Good luck with your sustainable urban development strategies, and enjoy the conversations in your local language in the breakout rooms. You don't have to come back here again. So this is the closing of the plenary, and enjoy your breakout rooms. See you the next time.